I let my daughter dye her hair blue. My sister called me a bad mom until her kid told me the truth. When Emma asked if she could dye her hair blue for her 13th birthday, I said sure. It's just hair, right? She'd been begging me for weeks, showing me Pinterest photos of these gorgeous ocean blue highlights. At Target, we picked out some semi-permanent dye that would wash out in a month. She was so excited she could barely sit still while I painted the streaks in our tiny bathroom. The next morning at breakfast, she kept flipping her hair and grinning at herself in the toaster reflection. I made her favorite blueberry pancakes, and she kept saying how the blue in her hair matched the berries perfectly. It was honestly the happiest I'd seen her since her dad moved out last year. But when we showed up at my sister Beth's house for Sunday dinner, everything went sideways fast. Beth took one look at Emma, and her face just dropped. She pulled me into the kitchen while Emma was playing with her cousins, and started going off about how irresponsible I was being. "What kind of message does this send?" she whispered harshly, gesturing toward the living room. "She's going to look like some delinquent at school." I tried explaining it was just temporary hair dye, that Emma was still getting straight A's and playing violin, but Beth wouldn't hear it. She kept shaking her head and muttering about how I was clearly struggling as a single mom and needed to set better boundaries. The whole dinner was awkward after that, with Beth making passive-aggressive comments about certain parenting choices every time Emma's hair caught the light. When we got home that night, Emma seemed deflated. She kept touching her hair and asking if I thought it looked stupid. I reassured her it looked amazing, but I could tell Beth's reaction had gotten to her. That's when I decided to call my mom to vent about the whole thing. Mom listened patiently while I ranted about Beth being judgmental. Then she got quiet for a moment. "Honey," she said carefully, "there's something you should probably know about your sister's situation." Apparently, Beth had been calling Mom almost daily, crying about her 12-year-old son Tyler. He'd been getting into fights at school, his grades were dropping, and she'd found vape cartridges hidden in his backpack twice in the past month. The school counselor had suggested family therapy, but Beth refused because she didn't want anyone thinking she couldn't handle her own kid. Mom said Beth was probably projecting her own guilt and frustration onto me, because my problem was just blue hair, while her actual problem was much more serious. The next weekend, Tyler showed up at our door around dinner time, looking miserable. Emma invited him to stay for tacos, and while we were eating, he started opening up. Turns out he'd been hanging with older kids who were getting him into trouble, but he was too scared to tell his mom because she'd been so stressed lately. He said he wished his parents would let him express himself like Emma could, instead of just yelling at him for everything. After Tyler went home, Emma hugged me tight and said, "Thanks for letting me be myself, Mom," even when Aunt Beth was being mean about it. That's when I realized the blue hair wasn't just about looking cool. It was about Emma feeling safe enough to explore who she was becoming, knowing I'd support her no matter what.